You know that feeling, right? That heart-stopping moment. You've got to be somewhere, you're already late, the clock is ticking, and the one thing you absolutely need, your keys, your phone, has just vanished into thin air. Well, today we're going to dive deep into that feeling because it's about so much more than just a lost object. Yeah, you can just feel the frantic energy in that line, can't you? It's the universal cry of someone who is right on the edge. This comes from a character we'll call Alex, whose morning has just completely, and I mean completely, gone off the rails. Oh, come on. We've all been there, right? That rising tide of absolute panic when a simple search turns into a desperate, chaotic race against time. It's a uniquely human thing, and we're about to break down exactly what is going on in our heads when that happens. So let's set the stage. Every full-blown panic has a trigger, a starting point. And for Alex, that trigger is the perfect storm of incredibly high stakes and just the worst possible timing. So here's the deal. We've got Alex, a project manager, and today is, well, it's the day. We're talking months of work, countless late nights, all of it leading up to this one single presentation. But there's a huge problem. The car keys are gone. And when the keys are gone, this massive career opportunity might be gone too. I mean, the stakes could not be higher. Okay, so this is where things get really interesting. How does a simple problem, lost keys, escalate into a full-on psychological spiral? This is the part of the story where logic just packs its bags and leaves the building. At first, the search is logical, but it descends into pure chaos really, really fast. The couch cushions are flying. Alex literally dives headfirst into the laundry basket. And then, the fridge. Why the fridge? Because that's what panic does. Our rational brain just shuts off. Suddenly, any location, no matter how completely absurd, seems like a possibility. And this is where you see the huge disconnect. On one hand, you have the logical problem, which is tiny. Find a small piece of metal. But the emotional reaction, it is absolutely catastrophic. Alex isn't just looking for keys anymore. Nope, they are fighting a battle against a universe that they're convinced is playing some kind of sick joke on them. And get this, it turns out this isn't the first time something like this has happened. Alex remembers hiding a birthday present so well that it was found 3 days late. This little detail shows us that this isn't just random bad luck. For Alex, it's a recurring pattern, a personal quirk that loves to show up at the absolute worst moments. But then, right in the middle of all this chaos, something shifts. The frantic searching stops, and there's this moment of sudden, almost shocking clarity. The focus changes from the thing that's lost to the real fear hiding underneath. And boom, there it is, the big light bulb moment. It was never, ever really about the keys. The panic over the keys was just a symptom. The real disease? That deep, terrifying fear of failure, of walking into that room late, unprepared, and just not being good enough. And what Alex is describing? Well, there's a name for that. It's classic self-sabotage. It's this weird thing our subconscious mind does when it's terrified of failing at something big. It creates a smaller, more immediate crisis, like losing your keys, to distract from the much bigger fear. It's like giving yourself an excuse before you even get a chance to try. And you know what's wild? Alex's subconscious was basically waving giant red flags the whole time. The night before, they had a dream about being at the meeting, wearing the actual PowerPoint presentation as a hat. I know, it's a hilarious image, but it tells you everything about the fear of being exposed, of feeling foolish, of having that presentation literally weighing on their mind. So figuring out the real fear, that's the game changer. That's step one. The next and most important step is using that new awareness to actually break the panic cycle and find a way forward. This right here, this is the pivot. Instead of seeing the lost keys as just another way the universe is out to get them, Alex reframes it. Maybe it's not a punishment. Maybe it's a sign, a signal to just stop, breathe, and look inward for a second. And the process Alex goes through is actually simple, but it's incredibly powerful. First, you just acknowledge the panic. You see it for what it is. Second, you just breathe. Take 1 second to break that frantic energy. Third, you refocus. You pull your attention away from the keys and put it back on the real prize, acing that presentation. And finally, and this is the most important one, you trust the work you've already put in. Alex knows they're prepared. So after all that chaos, all that frantic searching, what's the real lesson here? what do we actually find when we feel completely and utterly lost?
Well, this whole messy morning actually teaches us some pretty powerful stuff, like how a tiny problem can set off a massive, out of proportion panic. It shows us that what we think we're stressing about is usually just a cover for a much deeper fear of failure. It teaches us that panic can actually be a useful signal, a little alarm bell telling us to pause. And maybe most importantly, that the real way to get back in control is to just trust ourselves and the work we've already done.
And here's the kicker. This story doesn't even tell us if Alex finds the keys. You know why? Because it doesn't matter. It was never the point. The real win wasn't finding a piece of metal, it was finding a sense of determination right when self-doubt was taking over. So, I'll leave you with this to think about. The next time you find yourself turning your house upside down looking for something, just stop for a second. Take a breath and ask yourself, is this really about my wallet? Or is there a much bigger fear that I'm trying to avoid? The answer might really surprise you.